As a young athlete, I had issues with my breathing. I ran a lot of track and did some triathlons, and I had something that people called air hunger. I felt like I couldn't take a deep breath in, and it got me really anxious. I went to my local doctor, and he didn't really explain it very well. And he said I had something called exercise-induced asthma, gave me some medication and a peak flow meter to keep a check on how I was breathing, but I never really felt that I got a handle on it. And I persisted for around 2 years. I really wish I knew then what I know now about simple breathing efficiency and breathing mechanics.
I want to share with you a simple breathing test that's going to help chart your breathing efficiency and your aerobic fitness. And stay tuned to the end because I'm going to tell you what your breathing efficiency score means. And as you know, you can't manage what you can't measure. This test is commonly called a controlled pause or BOLT test. That's the body O2 level test. It was made really popular by a guy named Patrick McEwen. This simple test can tell you if your breathing is putting your performance and your wellness at a disadvantage. Breathing correctly is the essence of health and performance. The right way to breathe is it's an inaudible, almost invisible, natural pattern of breathing. You should hardly be aware of it, especially others around you, unless you're exercising vigorously. And even if you're exercising hard, the more efficient you're breathing, the slower, the more controlled, the deeper, the more efficient you're going to be at exchanging oxygen to working muscle to help them work effectively while also filtering away waste products. Your breathing efficiency is the platform for your aerobic potential. So to complete this test, you need to sit somewhere nice and comfortably. Make sure you have a timer on hand. So that can be your phone or a stopwatch. And then I want you to breathe normally for around 60 seconds. And then at the end of a very normal expiration, I want you to hold your breath. If you need to, pinch your nose to stop air coming in. Start your timer at the very start, at the beginning of when you're holding that breath, and then stop the timer when you feel that first real urge to take a breath. When you feel that urge, start to breathe, taking note of the time. That first inhalation should be nice and controlled through your nose. If you feel like you're gasping with your mouth, you've probably held on too long. The time that you just measured is your CP, your controlled pause time. It basically measures your body's tolerance to CO2. The more sensitive you are, the quicker your CO2 threshold will be met. A short CP time indicates chronically depleted CO2 levels, which results in a lower BOLT score. So, what does this mean for your running performance? For a simple example where the values have no physiological bearing, if you have a tolerance to 25% of CO2, it means when you get to that level of CO2 in your blood, you're going to be stimulated, you're breathing to breathe harder and faster. If your tolerance to CO2 was higher, say 40%, that means that you could breathe efficiently and effectively up to that 40% level. So you can basically exercise with a more efficient breathing pattern while those CO2 levels naturally rise. If you haven't already, give the BOLT test a go right now and then come back to me and I'm going to go over your results. If your CP is less than 10 seconds, this means you have some serious breathing impairment and probably very poor tolerance to physical exercise, and you might be dealing with some chronic health issues. If this is the case, it might be a good idea to get your breathing checked out with a breathing specialist or mention this result to your family doctor next time you visit. If your CP is between 10 and 20 seconds, that still indicates some breathing impairment and some probably poor tolerance to exercise. So you might want to look at some nasal breathing exercises and maybe looking at some lifestyle changes, looking at how you handle stress, alcohol, eating, what's going on with your sleep. If your CP is between 20 and 40 seconds, it means you might have some mild impairment to breathing efficiency. It means you have a moderate response to physical activity. So this is a normal measurement for our society, but it does mean you have the potential for the breathing to cause some physical ailments in the future. So it would be still a really good idea to work on your breathing efficiency. If your CP is between 40 and 60 seconds, well done. That means you have an optimal breathing pattern and probably excellent physical endurance. This is a test that I like to do every 6 weeks or so to just check in on my breathing efficiency. If you scored low and you'd like to improve this, then work on some nasal breathing, some breath work. Another great thing to do is yoga. Yoga really helps align mind and body and work on that breathing in an effective, efficient manner while you're trying to hold poses. So if you'd like to try some yoga, then check out this video that we did a little bit earlier to help you begin that yoga journey. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Put this little test in your training regime every few weeks. Remember, you can't manage what you can't measure. Champion compassion. Go out there and earn your miles with an efficient breathing pattern. And I look forward to catching up with you on the next video.